Hey there. Have you ever caught yourself wondering what would happen if your best friend suddenly confessed they're in love with you? Maybe you've sensed something shifting in the dynamic, like longer eye contact, more lingering hugs, or a curious text that makes you go, huh, was he flirting? In any case, best friend turned potential romantic partner territory can feel like stepping onto a tightrope above a pit of awkwardness. So, let's chat about it. First, let's set the scene. You and your best friend have probably shared a ton of laughs and tears. They know your weird food combos, your favorite show to binge on a lazy Sunday, and the kind of memes that make you literally snort laugh. You trust them in ways you don't trust anyone else. Then, out of nowhere, they drop it. I think I'm in love with you. Suddenly, the comfort you've always felt around them gets replaced with confusion and maybe a flutter of excitement. Let's be honest, there's a slight thrill in finding out someone you care about sees you in that way. So, how do you handle it? First off, don't panic. It might feel like the entire friendship is at stake, but take a breath. The biggest mistake is to react out of pure shock or fear. A heartfelt conversation is usually a good first step. If you're blindsided and need a day or two to think, that's okay. Just let them know you heard them. Something like, wow, I didn't realize you felt this way. I care about you, but I need a minute to sort out my thoughts. That sort of statement can go a long way in showing them respect while giving you room to process. Now, some people ask, should I consider dating my best friend? That can be amazing because you already know each other's quirks and nuances. You've got a head start on emotional intimacy. For example, if your best friend already knows you can't function before your morning coffee, they're not going to be offended by your 7 a.m. grumpiness. They also know that you collect novelty socks, so you'll never have to explain your thousand pair obsession. There's a foundation that can be golden for a relationship, but there's a flip side. What if you're just not feeling it? You might worry about hurting them or losing the friendship altogether. This can be tricky, so consider how you'd handle any romantic rejection. The difference here is you deeply value this person. You don't want them out of your life. A gentle, be honest approach helps. I'm so grateful you trust me with your feelings, but I don't see this going beyond friendship. That doesn't change how important you are to me, though. Sure, it might sting for them in the moment, but it's better than offering false hope. Let's talk about the post confession awkward stage. After that big reveal, your friend might start sending you texts like, hey, so how are you feeling about everything? You might be nervously scrolling through Instagram trying to avoid the conversation. Or maybe you both pretend that the confession never happened and continue with your usual routine, watching random shows, bickering over pizza toppings. That's normal for a bit, but eventually you'll have to address the elephant in the room. It helps to reassure each other that the friendship still matters. If you're open to giving romance a shot, talk about boundaries and pace. If you're not, gently reiterate that you treasure them but can't return those feelings. Be prepared for a bit of distance, especially if they need time to heal or recalibrate. Space doesn't necessarily mean the friendship is over. It just means that you both might need a little breathing room to figure things out. Possible scenarios, and is it worth it? Mutual crush scenario. You realize you like them back. You're both nervous but excited to explore what this means. Is it worth it? Often, yes, if both of you handle the transition thoughtfully. You already have a deep connection, right? Which can make for a strong relationship. Just remember that friendship and romance can feel different, so keep communicating. One-sided love scenario. You don't share the same feelings. There's no easy way around the heartbreak. Is it worth it to try and preserve the friendship? If both of you can talk openly and respect each other's boundaries, absolutely. But understand it may take some time before things feel normal again, if they ever do. Uncertain feeling scenario. Maybe you're not sure how you feel. You haven't considered them in that light, or you worry you're conflating comfort with love. Is it worth exploring? Possibly. If you're curious, be honest that you're testing the waters. You have to set those expectations. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm open to seeing where this goes. Friendship in limbo scenario. You want to stay just friends, but they're holding out hope. Is it worth waiting out for? Sometimes a little distance helps them move on. If they can't let go, it might create tension. This scenario can strain the friendship long term. You have to talk it out, and if you truly value each other, you'll find a path forward, even if it means rethinking how often you hang out. So, can best friends bounce back after a confession? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on how both parties handle emotional stress. For some, it's okay. You like me, I don't feel the same, but we're still good, right? For others, heartbreak might be too raw and they need space to heal. If you're on the receiving end and do share those romantic feelings, congratulations. New chapter unlocked. But keep in mind, transitioning to a romantic relationship might be bumpy. You have to communicate openly. Don't assume that just because you were friends, everything will be smooth sailing afterwards. Finally, remember that friendships, like any relationship, evolve over time. Sometimes those changes are smooth and wonderful, other times they're awkward or painful. It's all part of being human and learning how to care for each other in the best ways possible. If your best friend falls for you, it could spark an incredible love story, or it might be an emotional hurdle you both have to cross before finding a new normal. Either way, approach it with empathy and honesty. If you need extra support, talk to a trusted mentor, counselor, or friend who's gone through something similar. Life doesn't come with a manual, ironically, even though it's a script. So trust your instincts and be gentle with each other. Love is messy, friendship is precious, and when they collide, it's not automatically a disaster. Handled with kindness, you might just end up with a bond, romantic or platonic, that's stronger than ever.